What's up guys, macadii here, bringing you another UU battle. Today I'm against a guy called Challenger16. Having a look at his team, he's got a, maybe a Mega Aerodactyl, a Chesnaught, maybe like my Hector, it may be more of an offensive type, we'll have to see. He's got a Swampert, which is probably going to be his defensive wall, I would say. He may be special, but most of the time they are physically defensive. He's got a Jirachi. I hate Paraflinch so much, but to be honest, I don't think I've met any Poketube or anyone that plays Pokemon that likes Paraflinch. He's also got the Sticky Web, which is going to work well in conjunction with the Jirachi as well, so that's something I've got to watch out for. So, and as well as that, he's got his Noivern. So I think in terms of lead, I'd like to lead with Tinkerbell, just in case he does lead with a Galvantula, because hopefully a Taunt should be able to stop him from setting up that that Sticky Web. He does lead with a Galvantula, and I do outspeed as well, which is good to know. So I'm going to go for the Taunt. Even if he does go for the Bug Buzz this turn, I'm going to be able to take the hit. I can go for an Explosion the next turn. And then, even if he is sashed, I can use Roid to scare him out, and all should be good. So I go for the Taunt. He does go for the Bug Buzz, which brings me down to my Sash. Looking at his team, I now have to think whether it's worth me getting Rocks up, or if it's worth me getting this down to its Sash. And to be honest, I think quite possibly that Aerodactyl, I think it can get Defog, so, and it does only have two things weak to Defog, not weak to Defog, weak to Rocks, so, this will also give me a much better chance of actually him not getting Sticky Web up, which will be extremely important for Roid, and also for, well, just for my free sweepers, really. So I'm just going to go for an Explosion. It does mean I'm not going to be able to get the Rocks up, but that's not too much of a problem. So I do bring him down to a Sash. He does go for the Bug Buzz again. So let's have a look. So I could bring in Roid. Trouble is that does bait in the Swampert. And Roid is good against Jirachi. It can take on Aerodactyl, I think. It should be able to take on Chesnaught. And as long as that Noivern isn't scarfed, then it shouldn't be too bad as well. So Roid is actually quite important here. So it is quite tempting just to go out to Haagen Dazs. I know I outspeed, because that's got 372 speed, and it did. My Alakazam does outspeed my Azelf. So it is quite tempting to go into Haagen Dazs, because he doesn't really have anything else that has U-turn. Even if the Noivern does come in, I should outspeed anywhere unless it's scarfed. So I think Haagen Dazs probably is the best bet, because anything else he does bring in, I will still be able to do quite a decent chunk of damage to. So in terms of the move I'm going to go for, it depends whether he wants to keep this or not, because it is obviously it is his opportunity to get Sticky Web up. So if he did switch out, it would either be into Jirachi, Chesnaught, or Swampert. So I think Shadow Ball, even though it's not my stab, but it probably is the best bet, just in case he does want to keep it, which is a possibility, because I don't really have, apart from the Chesnaught, I don't really have anything else that does show that can stack hazards. And he does go out into the Noivern. From here, he does outspeed me. So, he could go for the U-turn this go. So, that might be a bit of a problem. But, oh no. It's very difficult, because I really don't want that Galvantula to come in. Because if I go out into Eclipse, he could potentially U-turn, which means that he can then go out into the Galvantula and he's guaranteed to get Sticky Web off. So I may have to stay in, which I don't really want to do, but looking at things, it probably is the best bet. So I'm actually going to stay in this turn, because what I don't want is him to U-turn out into something and Sticky Web. If does just go for the Dark Pulse, so this should take him out as well. That's excellent. Because quite often they do run the U-turn, so that's good. So that's one major threat down, and then Galvantula is also nearly dead as well. So I'm looking quite strong here, I must admit. The Jirachi does come in. Now, I have a choice. I can either save this, or I could get a Shadow Ball off, which would do quite a considerable chunk of damage to this. And considering how much I dislike Jirachi, it is very tempting to stay in. There is a chance, though, he could be Scarfed, which may also be a bit of an issue. But looking at his team, Aerodactyl speeds, I guess I do have the Energy Ball for the Swampert, so this is still quite useful. It is a very difficult call. So I don't have too much I can switch in. I guess I could just switch into the Umbreon. I think I'm going to go into Eclipse, because if he does go for the T-Wave, then he also gets T-Waved himself. He does just go for the U-turn, which is unfortunate. Looking at the way he played that, that is most likely his Scarfer then. The unfortunate thing is now his Galvantula is able to come in for free, which I really didn't want to happen, really. Especially considering his Aerodactyl as well is going to be quite a major threat to my team. So I'm going to go for a foul play here. I very much doubt he is going to Bug Buzz. He probably is just going to try and set up the Sticky Web, which is a real problem, but it's something we should be able to work through. So in terms of what he's going to come out with, I guess he's probably going to come out with a Chesnaught, and it is very tempting. If he does bring in the Chesnaught to Toxic. But then I don't particularly want to get caught out by it. He does come out with a Chesnaught. Well, considering I do run a decent bit of speed on this, I think Toxic is probably the best bet. Because I do run unnaturally a sort of large amount of speed onto Chesnaught, but that's just because... Oh, God, why? That would have made so much difference. Okay. That was quite a major point. I think that happened. I'm going to have to go out into Roid, and I'm going to have to... question is, do I Flare Blitz? I think I'm going to actually U-turn, because I'm still at going to outspeed. Actually, I don't know how much... I guess, why don't I just Flare Blitz? I think I'll Flare Blitz, because it will do the most damage to all of his mons. And as well as that, I always have Hector to swap in with the Swampert. I don't think Swampert can do too much. So I'm just going to click Flare Blitz, just in case he does decide to be real and stay in. He is probably going to go for the Spiky Shield as well. So unfortunately, that is the only way to make sure that he is scared out as well. So I anticipate he's probably going to go out into the Swampert. But this Sticky Web's going to make it a little bit more interesting. It does go out into the Swampert. This Flare Blitz should do a considerable chunk. Yeah, it does. I'm going to use this opportunity to go out into Hector, I think. Because Toxicroak obviously is going to be weak to an Earthquake. I am predicting him to probably go to the Earthquake at this point. Unfortunately, I won't outspeed afterwards, which will mean I am in range for a Toxic. But... I think I'm going to Spiky Shield this turn, just to see if he does run the Toxic. I guess actually this could be the opportunity for him to set up his rocks as well. I'm going to go for a sub. I am going to go for sub. I can't afford for him to actually try and set up his own rocks, especially with Darmanitan being at the health it's at the minute. Toxicroak's still looking pretty good. I should, as long as I can get some damage off on that Jirachi, it should be fine. It does just go for the Ice Punch, which is not too much of a problem really. I'm going to use this opportunity to go for Spiky Shield, and we'll see what he might just keep going for attacks. To be honest, he looks more like an offensive Swampert looking at this. I know he doesn't have leftovers as well, so I'm not exactly sure what his item is. So the Spiky Shields do some damage to him. I'm going to go for the Leech Seed here, and the combination of Leech Seed, and I probably won't Spiky Shield after, predicting him to go out into the Aerodactyl or something, because quite a lot of people, it is a very obvious play, and I am at the position where I could quite comfortably take an Ice Punch and also get a sub up. He does just go for the EQ, which is a very, a bit of an interesting play really. From here, I am just going to Spiky Shield, because even if he does bring in something else, it means I've still got my sub up. And the combination of Spiky Shield and then Leech Seed should take him out. Okay, so from here, I think the Aerodactyl is probably going to come in. But there's not too much I can do. I'm guessing he is probably going to go straight for the attacks, but I hope he might try and be a bit greedy and go for a Home Claws. Okay, so the Jirachi comes in instead. I'm just going to go for a Leech Seed, and considering this is physical Archie as well, shouldn't be too bad. I imagine he's probably going to go for the Zen Headbutt if he does have it. Iron Head won't be doing too much. It probably will still break my sub though, considering it's stab, and also Jirachi doesn't have too much, pretty good attack. So I get the Leech Seed off, which is going to take me up to a comfortable amount of health. I'm just going to Spiky Shield here. There is a chance he may swap out, but there's not too much I can do about this. I kind of need to be as much health as possible just to make sure I do take this this relatively well. But considering how well I took Swampurt's Ice Punch, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. So I do go for the Spiky Shield as he goes to the Zen Headbutt. That's going to sort of add a little bit more extra damage, and that's going to bring him down, most importantly, to the Sucker Punch level, which can be extremely useful. There is a chance he is going to flinch me this turn, especially with Zen Headbutt, but that's something I've got to risk really. He may even decide to switch out, I very much doubt it though. But he does go for the Zen Headbutt, that does doesn't do that much, and I break through, and yeah, I'm sitting pretty comfortably here now, because I can just go for another Spiky Shield, and that's going to bring him down to a very low amount of health, and I'm also at the position now where I can just keep subbing, and he just does forfeit. But yeah, that was a good game, and I'll see if you guys enjoyed it. Then I'll see you guys in the next one. Then, macadii out. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep up with my latest content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. Macadii out.